Hey, what's up guys? In today's video, we're going to do a reaction to Robert Delins' YouTube video where he tried print on demand for a week using the Printful Etsy integration. I can't wait to see how it went for him. I'm going to provide commentary along the way as we go. And of course, I will link you to this video in the description because I want to credit the source. Let's get right to it. All right, so this is the video, and I already skipped past the intro where he kind of explains what print on demand is. I'm assuming everybody watching is pretty well versed in that. So let's start from here, and I had it sped up to 1.5. Let's do 1.25 so that it speeds up a little bit.
In a week trial. So on day one, it was all about setup. I went over to printful.com, created my account, got all the billing stuff done, and then I went over to Etsy, created an account, created my store, linked those two together, made sure that they work together, and that's when I could start creating my product designs. And now,
quick note, if you're going to sign up for Etsy, make sure you use somebody else's link so that you get 40 free listings. There's no reason not to get the 40 free listings. I'll drop mine in the description.
Over the next few days, I was creating more and more designs to put on that store. But on day one, I created one simple design, put it on the store, launched the store, and was hoping to see some results. I think you're probably just as shocked as I am when I say on day one, we didn't sell anything, we didn't get any sales, and I mean, we didn't really market anything either, right? We just put one product on our store on Etsy and hope for the best. And that leads us.
All right, worth noting that, yeah, they require you to post a product for sale in order to open your shop. If you don't get an instant sale on your first product listed, I typically just recommend deleting the first product, but don't be surprised. It's not a big deal. And yeah, I mean, this is a long-term business model. So of course you're going to want to just remember that as you go.
Into day two. Now on day two, I was set out to make a few more products just so that the Etsy store had some more stuff to bring people in, right? We wanted people to find our stuff on the Etsy Explore page and hopefully entice them to buy something. I mean, that was as much as I could figure out at the time. So we created a few more designs there, and we hope for the best. I was starting to think, how can I advertise all these things? Can I do Instagram promotions? Can I do Facebook advertising, maybe TikTok advertising? But on day two, it was still just about making sure everything worked out. At the end of day two, I did order a sample of our product so that we could create more customized advertising in the hopes that in the future, we can do more customized Instagram advertising for this business along with TikTok and Facebook or whatever.
Maybe it's like his comfort zone to do, like he said, like Facebook, TikTok, Instagram ads. Just worth noting that, like, if you are just selling these products on Etsy the standard way and you want to run Etsy ads, you can't like upload a custom creative for the ad specifically the way that you could theoretically do that to Facebook, and then they click and they go to a Shopify store or an Etsy store. If you're going to run Facebook ads, I would imagine you would send them to Shopify where you'll pay lower fees. If you want to go that route, I did want to mention briefly while he was talking. And by the way, I love his video. This is not me disagreeing in any way. Just as I go, providing some commentary. That Etsy is doing really well, in terms of organic web traffic. Like for a brand new shop, they may not just instantly send you a ton of organic traffic, right? You need to typically prove yourself. But Etsy, for reference, getting about 478 million visits a month. So, there is potential to build an organic brand, organic business on Etsy. Just worth noting.
We decide, but to make it seem more legit, not just a picture, not just a mock-up that we got from Printful. On day three, we woke up again to no sales. Now, that's not really that surprising as we still hadn't done any advertising for our store, but I did run into some problems with the order for the sample. Now, there were some back-end issues on Printful, something about the digitization that didn't really work out the right way. They offered a different image to put onto the mock-up. I responded to them with some changes, some things that I wanted to see, and I was hoping that we could hear back from them and get that sample coming our way so we can make those custom advertisements as soon as possible. Now,
worth mentioning, if you do embroidery on Printful, I think this may be changing soon. I'm not 100% sure. Like, I don't work for Printful. I don't have somebody that sends me special insider knowledge, but I know they bought some company that was like related to more advanced embroidery. I saw that in an email. So maybe they'll improve their process in the near future. But like, as somebody who sells a lot of embroidery stuff, if your design file, like if the lines in the design are too close together or too thin, or if you do like a distressed design, you're going to have issues. So just worth noting that be careful with embroidery.
On day three, we did make a few more. I believe we made 2 more product designs, posted those on there. And we also found out about Etsy advertising. So it turns out that you have a choice to have your post advertised on Etsy. If somebody searches up your product, something with your product's name in it, it'll be posted at the top and says advertised by seller. And once I saw this, I decided that we're going to put a few dollars per day into this advertising and see how it goes. So at first I started with $5 per day, and the results weren't all that great. We started getting a few more views and a few more clicks. It didn't go too well. We didn't get any sales on day three.
I'll say not his fault. Etsy ads, to me at least, is like notoriously bad. Like, I know people that are mega successful on Etsy that trust them and that run them. I would just say you need to be a little bit active. Even though you can't provide specific keywords, you can turn off keywords if you go into your advertised listings and you click manage, or no, I forget, I don't have it memorized, but it's like search terms. I think it's just under your advertised listing, it just says search terms. Click that. It'll show you how it's spending your money, what terms it's advertising on. It'll also give you an idea of how the algorithm is working. And like I feel like I've said this a lot recently, but like, man, they will find ways to spend your money, even if it's on really stupid words that do not have any relevance. So I love that he tried ads, and it doesn't surprise me that Etsy found a way to spend his money without making him any sales.
Now on day 4 and 5, there isn't much to say. I kind of messed around with some designs and some ideas, but we didn't really make too many changes. We got more views and more clicks on our posts from Etsy advertising, but no sales still. So I guess that's going into day 6. Now on day 6, we started to try.
By the way, worth mentioning, like I know it's a quick run through, and he's giving an organic story of his first attempt at Printful Etsy. You shouldn't expect to get instant success right out of the gate. I'm not saying that he did either. I'm just saying, like, anybody watching this, you shouldn't expect instant success, right? Like if you go to college and study for 4 years or longer to go to a profession just to start on the bottom rung of the ladder in all this debt, only to hope to make a living wage, which of course the central banks are making it really tough to make a living wage, even if you're in like the top, 5% of people by earning, a separate story there. But like, you think about like how much effort you put into a day job, right? And how much debt you go into and how much time you give on the horizon, the time horizon for a day job. Now, if you start an Etsy shop, what if you gave it that much time to be successful on Etsy? You'd be way more successful, way faster if you just do things like, improve your primary image, right? That's going to help you get clicks for your ads and hopefully convert at a higher clip. I'm not saying, that he, this is just me interjecting, not trying to disagree with anything, but
try something a little bit different. I created a TikTok account for the business. I also created an Instagram account for the business. Now I was hoping to use these 2 accounts to advertise our store and maybe pull in some more buyers. On day 6, I tried to post a few of the products on.
Worth mentioning that like on the social media guys, these social media companies, they don't make any money off of giving you organic visibility, but they do make money charging you for what would not be organic visibility. It would be paid visibility. So I think it's more or less pay to play, as you would expect. Not that you can't build an organic business. My Ryan Hogue passive income business built completely organically. Of course, a lot of sweat equity went into building this and a lot of time. So, just be realistic. I'm not telling you it can't be done. I'm just saying your time is money. Make sure, however you spend your time, that you are accounting for how much money you could make if you were to do other things, right? So if you want to build an organic social media following, just make sure that you're aware of the fact that that's what you're spending your time doing. You're doing this. You're not doing everything else that you could be doing. So I'm not disagreeing in any way. Again, I'm just saying, hey, I know a lot of people go down that route, but it's like not something that they can realistically project them doing on a recurring basis for even the next year. So why even start, right? You already know Etsy, almost 500 million in monthly traffic. How about just like improve your Etsy listings and you'll probably be more successful than if you want to go down the rabbit hole of trying to build a, Instagram following, but constantly selling to people. Like who wants to be constantly sold to? You know what I mean? This is just me giving, my thoughts.
Onto the Instagram, but they didn't seem to get much traction. And on TikTok, I did happen to get 500-ish views on one of the videos that I posted, but I only got likes, no followers. Now on day 7, and you're hearing me say no sales, no sales, no sales for all these days. Well, that's kind of on me. I didn't really know what I was doing. I jumped into this head first, and I was thinking I'll figure it out on the fly. The good thing is we figured out a lot about Etsy advertising, about TikTok advertising, Instagram advertising here. We also learned that you can make your products look a lot better if you use Placeit.com. You can just create.
Nice little Placeit plug there, but he's right, by the way. He's actually right. You know what I mean? If you use the default mockups from Printful or anywhere else, they're not good. You know what I mean? They're not good. So using something like Placeit, I'd definitely get behind.
Get a free account on there and put your design on it, and it'll look a lot better than using the standard mockups from Printful. So I've gone ahead and posted on Instagram with these new mockups. I've also changed the images on our Etsy store to make it seem a little bit more appealing. But since the week is over, since it's day 7, let's talk about the numbers that we see on Etsy. So on Etsy, through the advertising, we've spent $26.53, got 9,451 ad views, 87 ad clicks, and 0 orders from the advertising. Now it's not just 0 sales from the advertising, it's also 0 sales in total. But if we look at it,
just keep in mind too that if you want to get into like the granular details of what that actually translates to here, right? It's most likely that Etsy was spending his money advertising on irrelevant keywords, okay? And that's to no fault of his own. It's literally because the Etsy advertising engine, as somebody who used to be a web developer for 8.5 years working 9 to 5, it's just like it seems like they programmed their ad engine to maximize profitability for Etsy. Like, please try. Don't trust me. Go advertise some of your own listings. Give it a week, and then go back 7 days later and look at the keywords and the phrases it is spending your money on, and be like, you'll be like dumbfounded. Like, wait, I put the word shirt in the title. Don't they know this is a shirt? They don't care. They will advertise on a million different things because make some money. They don't care.
The advertising. Now it's not just 0 sales from the advertising, it's also 0 sales in total. But if we look at it a little bit closer, we do see that we got at least a few favorites and somebody did put it in a cart. We've created these sales and discounts to shoot out automatic emails for people who favorite our stuff, or if they had it in their cart and they abandoned it, it'll send them a 10% off coupon, hoping to get...
You guys can set that up in the sales section on Etsy, okay? That's a great plug by Robert there. Basically, if someone favorites, it'll send them an automated coupon. If someone adds to cart, send them an automated coupon. If you guys are going to go down the Shopify rabbit hole, make sure you're doing the same thing. You're right. These aren't like random things that Etsy's doing. Etsy does this because they know high chance of bringing someone back and converting into a paid customer. You know, it's almost the equivalent of running a retargeting ad on like Google's ad network, except it's free to do because Etsy already has their customer information unless they're a guest. But I don't think you can add to cart or favorite if you're a guest. So it probably works. So that's a great idea by Robert right there.
That sale back. But at the end of these 7 days, we have nothing to show for everything we've done other than experience and knowledge. This isn't the end. I'm going to keep going forward with this account. I'm going to keep going forward with this business. And I think what I got to do is gain more followers on Instagram so that I can promote it on there. Keep posting on TikTok and see if I can link it to my Instagram so that people can come there. And basically just try to advertise this a lot better and outside of Etsy. I think I might actually try to create a Shopify account for this as well. And a Shopify...
Good idea. There's no need to pay extra fees to Etsy.
...store instead of an Etsy store. Because I think the Shopify store will look a lot more professional and it won't let people see the competition. If you guys like this video, found it at all
cool. All right. Hey, I really like that video though. If you guys want me to do more like reviewing kind of style videos like this, reaction videos, I guess, yeah, let me know. Put it in the comments. Like, drop me a link to a video that you think I should provide feedback on. Shout out to Robert though. It was a great video. I love that he's like just keeping it real. He didn't lie about his numbers or to try to impress people. He said, no, I just got started. This is what I did. He clearly, like, even though he didn't make a sale, he did more than just the minimum. Like, he was talking about setting up the automatic marketing to people who favorite and add to cart. Like, that's smart. Oh yeah, I wanted to say this, but I didn't want to cut him off. I didn't want to be too annoying. The add to cart and the favorite thing, I don't know where that frame went. I was trying to find it, but keep in mind that, like, you know, it could theoretically be bots, right? Like, it could be an Etsy bot. If you go onto Poshmark, it's like notorious for a huge amount of bots there. So like you can open a new account and immediately get like 50 followers. And it's like, what? I didn't even do anything. Well, Poshmark, a lot of bots. Also, I was looking at the comments and I just wanted to mention one thing. Like, you know, some people in the comments seem a little bit like negative slanted, and I get it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, starting a business is like anything else in life. It's difficult. And for some reason, I feel like sometimes people look at things through a lens of like, oh man, I did this and I wasn't instantly successful, so now I have to make some smart comment. And it's like, yo, this is just me personally, like just giving my personal opinion. And I mean, some of the comments were like, oh, these YouTubers aren't showing their numbers. Okay, that's a separate topic, right? Like, no matter what you're doing in life, you should always look for proof that the talking heads that you're spending your time listening to at least know what they're talking about. If they don't listen to them, right? Hit the dislike button and move on. But like, and I'm not trying to imply that that was anything related to Robert. They were liking Robert's organic, you know, telling the truth basically about his journey. I would just mention, like, you know, don't get too attached either to the opposite of that, where people are flashing really big numbers because they probably had to work a really long time to get there. You know what I mean? Like, I try to be transparent about that. You can go to my blog, ryanhogue.com/income reports, and see how long it took me to scale up my business. I always like to remind people that it wasn't overnight success. It was nothing even remotely close to that. Plus, it took me way longer than it needs to take you to be successful because I didn't have a coach or like a step-by-step tutorial of laid out by someone who's been there before. Whereas that's really what I aim to provide in my step-by-step courses. Of course, I'm constantly putting out daily free content on YouTube too. So hopefully you guys find this useful and you consider subscribing. But yeah, just guys, long time horizon. If you are willing to go to college for 4+ years and spend however much money just to hope to get a living wage at whatever it is you do, a lot of people don't even use whatever they majored in. Like, zoom out and think about what you're doing with e-commerce on a place like Etsy. You're literally following the customers, so now you don't need to generate your own audience. You're selling things that, you know, if you do some research, you can see what's already selling and then just carve out a piece of that pie for yourself. You've outsourced fulfillment so you can focus on scalability. And if you actually give it some time to grow, I think you'll be surprised by what you can achieve, guys. So anyway, especially if you're willing to like learn from somebody that's been there before and been successful at it. So anyways, guys, thank you for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts on this content format in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out Robert's channel. I will link to it. I emailed him too to see if he wants to collab maybe in the future. So we'll see what happens. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you at the next one.